Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hector Dominguez. I'm here on behalf of the Cook County Assessor's Office. We have a lot of information for you all tonight. So before we do anything else, let me just welcome you. Thank you for being here with us. You could literally be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. You could be out eating dinner. You could be out watching a basketball game. You could be watching Caitlin Clark destroy the three-point line. I don't know. You could be doing anything else, but you're here with us, so I appreciate you. So let's jump into what we're going to do today. Allow me to please go ahead and turn on our presentation. We are here tonight. If you are here with me tonight, it's because you are with the West Chicago Township. If you are not with the West Chicago Township, you can still hang out. We can still hang out. But this information might be a little outdated for you, or you might be ahead of schedule and you get this information before your township is open. Either way, please be a great neighbor and share this presentation. If you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and share this. Go ahead and tag some folks on it. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and share this, tag some folks on it. If you're watching this on your phone, go ahead and share the link. Do whatever you got to do. Be a good neighbor. So let's get into it. The gentleman you see here is Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi. He is probably, maybe, going to be joining us tonight. So if at any time you see me like immediately stop, that just means we're going to give him the floor. So a couple ground rules, ladies and gentlemen. If you're like me and your brain is everywhere, go ahead and take a second. If you have questions, I promise you we're going to answer all of these questions. That is my favorite part of the evening. If you have any questions though and you're like me, you need to write them right now, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. That way, when we get to the Q&A portion, we could jump on these questions for you. Also, we do have our team. Shout out to the Civic Engagement team. We do have our team in the background answering questions as well. So without further ado, let's jump right in. What is the Cook County Assessor's Office? What are our responsibilities? There are a lot. Can't cover them all. But what I'm going to do is go over a couple things. So it is the responsibility of our office to put a value on your property based on a mass appraisal system. It's our job to value almost 2 million different properties, right? That's a big thing to do. That's a lot of work. So we want to make sure we do it correctly and we take our time. It is also our responsibility to give you a discount on your property taxes, something like the homeowner exemption, the senior citizen exemption. A couple of these we're going to be touching on later on in the show, but that is what our office is responsible for, and the appeal process, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Here's what we're not. N-O-T. First time I ever do it regular. I always do it backwards. Not responsible for your property tax bill. We do not calculate your tax bill. We do not mail out your tax bill. We do not collect your tax bill money. That is the Cook County Treasurer's Office. We are also not responsible for the taxing bodies or the taxing levies in your specific area. So let's go ahead and get into some vital information for your everyday life. So we are targeting, we are reassessing West Chicago Township right now. So for you all, your deadline is June 20th, 2024. Again, West Chicago Township, your deadline is June 20th, 2024. Some data for those folks who like this kind of information. We want to give you some information. So very quickly, in the West Chicago Township, single-family homes, the average, so the median, right, is 257,000. These numbers I'm going to explain what this means in a couple of seconds. For condos, the median is 399,000, and for multifamily, the median is 352,000. Now, what does this mean? This means if your home is in within 10% of these values, can you still appeal? Yes. Will you receive a reduction? Probably not. However, if you're looking at these values and saying, hey, mine is nowhere near that, mine is all the way up here, then you absolutely want to appeal. There are multiple reasons why someone would want to appeal their property value. I'm going to go over some of those in a couple of slides, but I wanted to focus on was this kind of newish. It's about 2.5 years old, new tool that our office has, right? So simply, you can go to cookcountyassessor.com/ West Chicago 2024 residential with hyphens in between every word. And you can use our new neighborhood tool. You'll also see it on the screen right now. But here you can literally go into your neighborhood, your township, then into your neighborhood code, then into your specific neighborhood to see what your value is compared to others around you. So you don't have to second guess, right? You can literally go in and just see, hey, mine is kind of where it's supposed to be, or sorry, there's no way, mine is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. You can have access to more information on our website at cookcountyassessor.com. From here or from there, you can check your property characteristics, your exemption history, your appeal history, certificate of error information, kind of anything and almost everything you need for your property can be found there. cookcountyassessor.com. Now, there are multiple reasons why someone would want to appeal. I'm going to go over the three most common. So the first one is lack of uniformity. That just means you and I have the same kind of property in the same kind of neighborhood, done, created or built by the same person, same size, same color, same everything. But for whatever reason, our values are different, and I want to know why we are not the same. If our properties are the same, how come our values are not the same? That's lack of uniformity. The next one is probably everybody here. Overevaluation. There's no way my house is worth this much. If my house was worth this much, I would give you back the keys right now. I'll sell this to you right now, right? That's almost everybody here tonight. And then the third most common reason is incorrect property description, also known as property description error. This just means there's a factual error, not an opinionated error. A factual error is our office is assessing you as a condo, but you really have a single family home. Our office is assessing you at 2,000 square feet, but you really have 1,200 square feet, right? There's a factual error. Now, what you're seeing on the screen should be somewhat familiar to you. You might have it in your hand. You might have seen it and thrown it when you open it in the mail, something, but you know what this is. This is a residential assessment notice. There's some information on here that's super important for you all, like your PIN number, your fair market value, your neighborhood code, your property characteristics, your assessed value, all that information here. This is not a tax bill. This is not a tax bill. One more time, this is not a tax bill. I know a lot of people look at this and go, oh, this is not a tax bill. This is just our office letting you all know what your property is currently valued at or worth. On the back of your reassessment notice, some of you all might look and see that you have exemptions listed. Some of you all might have that area blank. It doesn't matter. It's not anything really important, but if you're interested, you can also view this information online at the cookcountyassessor.com. You can also look at your exemptions as well at cookcountyassessor.com/exemptions or cookcountyassessor.com and click on the word exemption, and you can find exemptions there as well. So, what is the appeal process? What is the reassessment process? What do these words even mean? What is going on? Let's break this down for you. So, here's the appeal process. You're going to receive a reassessment notice, which you have already received. Then you're going to either agree or disagree. You're going to say, hey, you know what? This value is correct. I'm going to leave it alone. Or, no way. There's no way this value is correct. It doesn't make any sense. Either way, your next step is to file an appeal if you want to, whether you agree or not. Once you file an appeal, you're going to have to provide reasons for your appeal, and then an analyst is going to review that information along with any evidence you may or may not have presented. We're going to go over that in a second. And then what will happen is an analyst will then look over your appeal and then give you or issue you what's called a decision letter. That decision letter is going to say, congratulations, we're going to lower your value by such and such amount. Or you're going to say, sorry, unfortunately, due to the uniformity of the neighborhood, we're not going to lower your value. Either way, you're going to receive something from our office letting you know that your appeal has been processed. So how do we do this? Well, you can go to cookcountyassessor.com/online appeals with a hyphen in between the words online and appeals. Here you can start your appeal, you can file your appeal, you can save your appeal, you can edit your appeal, you can pause your appeal, you can do whatever you want. But this is kind of where you do this, and it's all for free. You can submit additional documentation, supporting documentation. We're going to go over that in a second on what you might want to submit. But please remember, your deadline is June 20th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, what's today's date? Today's the 28th. So that gives us 3 weeks and 2 days. That gives us 23 days. Please do not be the individual who contacts us on June 21st and says, I'm trying to appeal. You have 23 days to file your appeal. I'm going to walk you through how to literally do it line for line. And we do not want you to miss your opportunity to appeal because you let it slip through the cracks. So please be your biggest advocate. You are your biggest advocate. You have until June 20th to file this appeal. So let's jump on into it. So first thing you're going to do is go to cookcountyassessor.com. From there, you're going to click on the word appeals, and then you're going to be brought to this screen where it says file an online appeal. Almost everyone here is going to file a residential appeal. If you are a condo or a co-op, you would click on condo co-op. And if you are commercial, you would click on commercial. Now, we're not going to go over condos, co-ops, or commercials here. We are going to do residential, but it's essentially the same way, except for commercial. There's a couple more steps, but we'll walk you through that. So once you click on residential, you will be brought to the login screen. Now, if you have filed an appeal with us before, this will auto-populate for you, or you can hover over it and it'll have your last email address. Go ahead and click it and click login. If you are brand new, just go ahead and create a new account. So mine is happytaxpayer@gmail.com. And then from here, you will be brought to the available filing screen. So for you all, you're going to scroll all the way down to where you see residential assessment. Now, yours is going to say 2024. This is an older screenshot, but yours is going to say 2024. And if you are a condo co-op, you're going to click on the condo co-op assessment appeal tab a little bit above residential. So go ahead and click on the appropriate one and then click on begin filing. Now you're going to type in your PIN number. Once you type in your PIN number and click search, this will auto-populate for you. Now, some folks are going to see a different name here. Don't freak out. It's going to be the previous owner. So sometimes when your home has had a lot of different owners, a lot of different names are going to pop up. Just click on it and find your name and click start filing. So that's what we're going to do. Once you click start filing, you'll be brought to here. Now, yours is going to say 2024 real estate assessment value, appeal residential, appeal activity window. This says Berwyn because this is an older one, just for the example. But yours is going to say West Chicago. Now, here, I need to give you a heads up. Anywhere you see a box or a checkbox or a red star or a red asterisk, you have to complete that task. You literally cannot move forward unless you complete this task. So that's how you know you're doing this correctly or not. Just go ahead and click on these boxes and click on the word next. And then from here, this will auto-populate for you. Just click next. Here, this is for anyone who has an error that is a factual error. Earlier, we talked about maybe your square footage was incorrect. Maybe we were incorrectly assessing you for the type of home you have. Or maybe you had a fire. Maybe there's some type of something that happened to your property and you want to let us know. This is how you would let us know. You would just click on the C of E for the year in question. So for you guys, if the year was 2021, 2022, 2020, you would just click those years and click next. If you have nothing, just click next. Now here we need to figure out if we need to add any additional PIN numbers. So if you have a prorated property, you would have to do this. What the heck is a prorated property? That is where you have one piece of property that has multiple PIN numbers on it. If that is you, just go ahead and add those additional PINs for the property. If this is not you, just go ahead and click next. Most people aren't going to do anything there. Now, here's where we're going to have a little fun. Earlier, we said if there are any check boxes or stars or red asterisks, we have to complete those tasks. So go ahead and start that. So here, we just want to know who you are. Are you the taxpayer owner? Probably. You're going to click the drop-down menu and click taxpayer owner. What you do there, you're going to do on the very next one as well. Once this is done, your information will auto-populate. However, in the event where your home has had multiple owners, just go ahead and click on the little hamburger menu, the little 3 lines, and find your name. But again, all this will auto-populate except for your phone number and your email address. Go ahead and give that information to us and click next. And then from here, we just need to make sure this property is correct. It is the correct property you want to appeal. Some people have more than one. So, just a way to have checks and balances, make sure you're not you're not submitting the incorrect one. And if this is the correct property, you would just select and click next. And then here is where you would correct any characteristic issues that are incorrect. Most people aren't going to touch this at all. But if for some reason in fact your property is 99 years old instead of 30 years old, or for a fact that you have 2 bathrooms instead of 1.5, this is where you would make those edits, and then you would just click on next. But again, most people aren't going to even touch that portion. Now here's where we get a little spicy, right? So now we need to figure out what you believe your property is worth. So I'm just making up numbers. If we say your property is worth $300,000 and you're saying there's no way, let us know what you believe is worth. We need to know for the desired market value what you believe is worth. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Do not write the number 0 here. We need an actual amount that you believe your property is actually worth. Then after that, we need to figure out what reasons you are appealing for. So we went over 3 already, but let's go over these again. Lack of uniformity, that just means we have the same property, same style, same location, same everything, but our values are different, and I want to know why. Overvaluation just means there's no way my house is worth this much. It's overvalued. Please help me out, right? Vacancy, occupancy, this means you have an empty property. You have a vacant property. If you choose this option, you will have to provide proof that you have an empty property, and the best way to do that is to provide pictures. Next is fire damage, self-explanatory. The next one is property description error, which is what we were talking about earlier. The next one is building is uninhabitable. That means you physically cannot live there. And then the last one is building no longer exists. That's self-explanatory. Now, please notice that every time you click on a reason to appeal, you're going to have to give us an explanation. Now, for the sake of this example, I wrote value is too high. You don't want to do that. You want to write something like, it's just an example, based on the median, my value is too high, or something based on the data provided, my value is incorrect, something like that, right? Then underneath there, you see where it says field check request. Now, this is for someone to actually come out, redraw, and remeasure your property. This is free. You don't have to have an appraisal. Oh my gosh. You don't have to have an appointment. You don't even have to be there for this. Our office will do this for free. If you want it, just go ahead and click yes. Otherwise, click next. Now we need to know what kind of property do you have. Do you have a single family home? Do you have a building with 6 apartments or less? Do you have a mixed use? You have a townhome duplex? Only you know the answer to this question. Go ahead and check the option that best fits your property. Now, this is where everyone gets excited. So we have a portion here that allows you to submit comparable pins. Now, listen closely. You don't need to provide comparables to our office. It's not necessary. However, we understand that is something you might want to do. So there are a couple different ways to do this. So the first one, here you'll see over here on the right-hand side, you'll see these fields. If you do not touch these fields and you leave them alone, you will be able, if you scroll down a little bit and click on search, you will be able to find comparables that are uniquely filtered for your specific property. If you were to toggle through or mess with any of these filters, you are not going to get comparables that are comparable to your property. Please understand that. But what if you're one of these people that has a specific property you want our office to look at? Well, that's what this bottom portion is for, where it says custom additional search criteria. Here you can actually give us an actual pin of a property, an address of a property, kind of information of a property that you want us to look at specifically. Once that is done, you will be brought to this screen here, and then I only did one for this exercise, but all of the pins that you are trying to use for comparables will be listed here below. Once you click on next, what's going to happen is you're going to get a compare contrast screen. Compare and contrast screen. Here, you're going to have your principal, so where you actually live at, and then the comparable. And you're just going to go ahead and look back and forth and see if this is one you want to use as a comparable. Maybe you clicked on it by accident. Maybe you moved your mouse a little too fast. If that is the case, just click on previous and do it again. Otherwise, click on next. Here is where you would also submit a comparables if you had them. So some people like to do it old school, and they like to submit pictures. They like to submit addresses. They like to submit appraisals. They like to submit a sales analysis. They like to submit blueprints and something, anything, right? Here is where you would submit all that information. Once you are done submitting, you would get to this very last screen. Here's where you would type in your name, your phone number, and your email address. And then you would click submit. Now, up until this point, you can still start, pause, edit, freeze, red light, green light, whatever you want to do for your appeal. But the moment you click on yes, what's going to happen is you're going to get a giant confirmation page. It's going to say, thank you. Your request has been successfully submitted. And then you're going to get a filing ID number. Write that filing ID number down. If you have questions about your appeal, we're not going to ask you for your name. We're going to ask you for or if you have questions and you contact our office, we're not going to ask you for your name. We're going to ask you for your filing ID number. Okay, that's how we identify your PIN number, to keep things anonymous. But you can also log in under your own account, and if you have your filing ID number, go all the way up here where it says My Filings, find your filing ID number, click on there, and read what's happening as well. You can also print this page as well. But this is your confirmation. We get this question every day. I filed my appeal. Here's my filing ID number. I did not get a confirmation. This is your confirmation. Now, for more information, you can log on to cookcountyassessor.com to check out exemption, appeal, and assessment history. You can also check your exemptions here as well. There are a total of 8 of them. This is not an exemption presentation, but we wanted to share that information as well, because on your tax bill, which is what we have blown up here, that information is important. Why? You have 2 tax bills a year. Of these 2 tax bills, you get a blue one when it's cold outside and a yellow one when it's warmer outside. The blue one has 0 exemptions on it, 0 discounts. The yellow one has all of your discounts on it. So if you look down bottom left-hand corner where it says tax calculator, we actually blew that up in the red right here. You'll see your homeowner exemption X, senior citizen exemption X, senior freeze X. All your discount amounts will be listed here. If you want to connect with us, you can contact us at 312-443-7550. I feel like we need a jingle like Empire, right? You can connect with us on social media. You can hover over this QR code with your camera and click on a link. Let's see if this works. Sometimes, yes. Too far, too close. Oh, man. Well, you can click on our Linktree account, and from here, you can go to our website. You can file appeals. You can file exemptions. You can file a certificate of errors. You can do all of these things. If you want to make an appointment, you can do that from there as well. At the downtown location, 118 North Clark, the Markham Courthouse location, 16501 South Kedzie, the Skokie Courthouse location, 5600 West Old Orchard Road, room 149, or my old stomping grounds, Breeview Courthouse, 10220 South 76th Avenue, room 205. That is up the escalator to the left of the metal detector and right next to the bathroom. Sorry, that was anticlimactic. But if you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please drop them in the comment section so we can go ahead and answer. This is my favorite part of the night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and let's jump into the questions. Let's see. There aren't any questions. Okay. That's sad. That's literally my favorite part of the night. I love talking with you guys. I love communicating with you. I love educating. I love equipping. I love all of that stuff. So, but for the 8 of you all who are watching, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor. You 8 right now, please go ahead and share this. Go ahead and tag some folks on here, because what's going to happen is we're going to stop the live. We're going to end it. Once we end it, we can still come back to it, though. So if you end up having questions or someone does have any questions, go ahead and ask them, because I'm going to jump right back on and answer these questions in the comment section. There we go, Jeremy. Does below grade space count toward livable space? Great question, Jeremy. So here's the answer. You are assessed on livable square foot area above ground only. So if your crawl space is it part of your home? Yes. Is it part of the square footage? Yes. But if it is not livable square foot area, it does not count for taxes purposes. I hope that makes sense. The next question is from me. No, it's not. If I live in a condo and there are 6 units, I should still appeal under residential, correct? Great question. So if you have a condo, this is how you know if you really have a condo or not. If the last 4 digits of your PIN number end in something other than 4 zeros, so 1763, 1234, anything other than 0000, you do live in a condo. Now, if you're filing an appeal, you do not want to file under residential. You want to file under a condo appeal. I hope that makes sense. And because you have more than 4 units, you probably have an HOA, or you have like some type of association, and they probably already have an attorney on retainer who's already filing on your behalf. So you definitely want to check it out. And you definitely want to make sure you're not double appealing, because then what you'll do is you'll cancel it out. So this YouTube comment, I would double check. I would contact my president now, make sure you're not double appealing, and making sure everything's done correctly, because you have a condo, it should be a condo form. Hope that makes sense. Jeremy has a question, but garden units do count, right? Of course, that's livable square foot area. A crawl space is not livable square foot area. So Lucy says, last year my house AV was $25,000. Just got my letter and says that my new AV is $32,000. How much more tax is that going to be? Great question, Lucy. There is absolutely no way you can guesstimate. Not even the president of the United States can do that. But here's what I would suggest you do, Lucy. I would find a property that is similar in location, construction type, everything, that has the value of what my value is going to be assessed at, and look at those taxes. That way you can kind of have a ballpark figure. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. I'm glad that was helped. I'm glad that helped you. Seriously, thank you so much. All right, please share this presentation if there are no more questions. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Enjoy dinner. Enjoy whatever you're going to do tonight. Have fun. Be safe. Be blessed. Love you guys. Have a great day.